Hello everyone and welcome to our 2015 Memorial coverage. I'm your host Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. We are in hole 18. Valerie Jenkins on the tee, down one stroke to Paige Pierce. Val's shot is off on the right hand side. We feel the wind is howling and the noon fountain is just going off right now. We've got Paige Pierce on the tee. Paige sits at 2 under par, one stroke in front of Valerie Jenkins. These women are facing a very stiff 15 to 20 mile per hour headwind here on hole 18. And Paige releases a drive to the right, and if that finishes in the fairway as it's done, that may have just cemented her victory here, as Val is looking at best out of 3. Jennifer Allen's shot turns over, is carrying out of bounds on the right-hand side where there's a walking path. Fourth to throw is Jessica Weiss. And Jessica with a very nice looking forehand. There's your tee shots here on hole number 18. It's been a very exciting round for these ladies. We've seen lots of up and downs. Paige Pierce charging very hard to catch up to Valerie Jenkins. She's currently sitting on that one stroke lead. She's in a great position to just get the layup and possibly secure another Memorial Championships victory. Let's check it out. And Jennifer, with a little bit of indecision, decides to go with a mid-range, unfortunately just a bit low. Val Jenkins is going to need something just about spectacular here. Val Jenkins going at it and almost putting it in. She knows that she needed to put the pressure on Paige. She's left herself with less than 20 feet, but an absolutely beautiful shot by Val Jenkins. Again, Paige has a one-stroke lead at this point. If Paige can simply get up and down, she can secure the victory. Jessica's forehand is pushed over to the right from the wind. Paige is left with approximately 70 feet to the pin. She's going to be looking to simply put this correction in, more like 90 feet. And Paige is looking for that to nestle, and it does within 8 feet of the basket. She lets a sigh of relief out. She knows with that short putt she will secure the victory. Jennifer is also next to the basket again. These two ladies really separating themselves from the rest of the women's division here this weekend. Paige Pierce sitting 2 under par. Val Jenkins at 1 under par. Jennifer Allen at 12 over par. And Jessica Weiss at 16 over par. And a solid putt by Jessica Weiss here to finish out her round and her tournament. Val Jenkins has approximately 20 feet that remains for par 3. And Val has come up short. She will tap in, as will Jennifer Allen. And that is the tournament. And with her final putt here with a 2-stroke lead. And we've seen it before, ladies and gentlemen. Paige Pierce is your champion here at the Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. Paige and the rest of the ladies are going to add up their scorecards, and then as soon as those are turned in, we will catch up with her and talk a little bit about her new title here, her first National Tour victory of the year and the first of the PDGA season. As you can see, Paige Pierce finishing 2 under par. Valerie Jenkins finishing, once they adjust the scorecard, will be at even. Jennifer Allen will move to plus 14, and Jessica Weiss remains at plus 16.
Ladies, did everybody survive?
No.
Okay.
As the ladies add up their scorecard, we will make sure those get turned in. We saw even on Wednesday, Will Schustrick making light of the fact that he had a scorecard snafu a few years ago by not totaling his scorecarding, and hence costing him a 2-throw penalty. Will then went on to beat Paul McBeth in the playoff on the very first hole. So there's even signs that are immediately following the 18th hole here that tell the players to go make sure they add up their scorecards before they do anything else. We do have Gary to the O, our secondary cameraman. He's hanging out on hole number 1. He's going to be bringing you intermittent action until we can make our way over there. Again, hole 18 is a little bit of a distance from 1, so Gary will be following some action. Of course, our 1226 leader card is going to be quite a show here today. Rumor has it they are actually delayed slightly, so we're going to see some action from the cards preceding them. We were hoping to bring the ladies coverage a little earlier. However, they moved through the course quicker than we anticipated. We were looking to go live at 12:15, thinking we get the last 2 or 3 holes. However, they're moving along quicker than we thought, and we're going to catch up with Paige Pierce in just a moment. All right, Paige. And in just a moment, we are going to bring up Paige Pierce. Come on over, Paige. This side, please. I've got one good ear. Okay. You need to be on this side. How you doing? First of all, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So there was live scoring, which I was checking as I was coming to the course, and it just seemed like an amazing round going back and forth with you two. Yeah. Tell us how it went down.
It was the windiest probably I've played in the past 9 months. It was intense. And the front half, once you get through hole 9, there's no more water, really. So, you just want to get through the front half with as little OB strokes as you can. And it would, that's hard on any day. And then today to have 30 mile an hour winds or something. We had discs that were flying upside down and bouncing and going in and coming back out over our heads. And it was intense.
So you went into the day just 1 stroke behind. You made up quite a bit of ground yesterday at Fiesta Lakes, and you were down 1. And at one point, were you up 5 or 6?
Yes, 5.
Tell us what happened in those first few holes in order for that separation.
Hole 1, I got one back right away, so we were tied. Hole 2, we both struggled, and then it really didn't start changing until about hole 6. I think that's the one where you throw up over the tree.
Yep.
Val's tee shot stayed up 2 meter rule, which was, I don't think the 2 meter rule should ever be in effect, so that could have been the tie right there. And then her next shot went OB off the side of the cliff, it got a roll. And she just had a couple unlucky OBs by a few inches. And so I got up by 5, and then on the back 9, she played amazing. She went 3-2-2 on the holes that I went 4-3, so it went right back.
You guys go back and forth. It seems like at this event, it's always one or the other that are going back and forth at this event. How many titles does that make for you here at the Memorial?
Definitely 3. I'm not sure if it was 4. I was trying to think of that earlier, but I don't remember.
That's a good problem to have. You don't remember how many NT wins you have here.
It's hard to keep your trophy from this tournament because they give you a big check, and when you're driving through the country, you can't really keep that.
All right, talk about who's on the bag for you today.
Madison Walker.
And did she keep you in check? I know you two are a little bit, we'll say, squirrely when you guys are traveling around. Did she keep you in check? How did she work with you and your nerves or anything else you had going on?
Yeah, she definitely helped out a lot. I haven't played a big tournament in a while, so I was more nervous than I've been in quite a while. And she's one of the funniest people I've ever met. So she was just trying to tell me jokes, keeping me laughing, calm, and obviously saving me some strokes, drying my discs and all that. So thanks, Madison.
All right. Well, I know you're a huge fan of the game. You're obviously one of our top players, but you're also a fan of the game, and I think we have some exciting action that's going to be planned today. Any projections, any predictions, anything else that you think is going to, what you might see happen out here at the Fountain Course today?
It's really hard to say right now because in the wind we were in, I would have said anything in the 40s, 49 even would win. But now it's kind of slowing down. Our back 9 was semi-calm, so it's hard to say, but if it keeps windy like it was, whoa. Something huge just happened on hole 1.
Yeah, it did. Well, with that being said, congratulations on how many ever titles you have here. We're going to say 3, 4,
Okay,
maybe
3.
it's 10.
We'll say 3.
3. This is Paige Pierce, your 3-time women's world champion, or 2-time women's world champion, 3-time memorial, or at least 3-time memorial champion. Congratulations, and maybe catch up with us a little later while we're watching the action.
Yeah, I'll definitely be over there.
We'd love to have you in, and maybe you can do some commentating with us.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. There you go. Again, Paige Pierce. She is your champion here this weekend at the PDGA's first national tour of the year. Congratulations to her, and a very, very great effort there by Valerie Jenkins, coming up just a bit short. They battled back and forth throughout the entire weekend, and Paige ultimately with the win by 2 strokes. We're going to move over to the action on hole number 1. We've got an entire day lined up for you right here on SmashBoxxTV. Thank you guys for joining us, and enjoy the show.
The Mach X by DGA, the evolution of disc golf.
Plastic Addicts Disc Golf Supplies, home of the Discraft Ledgestone Edition releases, including the new TI Comets, TI Zones, TI Bangers, Crystal Flex Zones, Glow Flex Buzzes, and much, much more. Be on the lookout for the next Ledgestone release on March 25th. Plastic Addicts also carries a full line of products by the top companies revolutionizing the sport. Plastic Addicts also has a full line of custom Plastic Addicts apparel, including hoodies, hats, dry fits, thermals, patches, towels. Need disc golf supplies? Look no further. Plastic Addicts for all your disc golf cravings.
Disc golf is in the air. Join the excitement at pdga.com.
Hello everyone and welcome to hole number 1 over here at the Fountain Hills course. Now that we've caught up with our women's champion in Paige Pierce, congratulations again to Paige. We are over here and we're about to watch the third card tee off.
Players on the tee. Next up on the tee box, Seppo Payo.
And Seppo Payo with more than enough power. And unfortunately, it just carries over the water, into the water.
On the tee, Drew Gibson.
And Drew Gibson on the tee. Drew going with a huge hyzer out and on the right-hand side and carrying right toward the basket. He's within 15 feet for his birdie opportunity.
Next up on the tee box, Anthony Barella.
And a huge roar for Anthony, the 15-year-old local superstar on the tee here on the third card of this national tour. And that is in fact rolling toward the OB line. He may have put a little too much power into that. Couldn't get a confirmation as to whether he's safe or not. Appears that it is very close. They haven't made any decisions up there. Out of North Carolina, Nate Sexton on the tee.
Next up on the tee box, Nathan Sexton.
And Nate Sexton's going to need a little bit more power, hoping that carries the water. And it does so. And nestles right next to the pin. Great start here from Nate Sexton. Beautiful drive.
My pleasure.
We have had a mixture of sunshine and clouds already here today as we are preparing for our second card to be going off next. Paige Pierce discussed a little earlier the windy conditions that she went through earlier. Upwards of 30 mile per hour winds. Right now it is overcast and in the mid 60s. We feel a 10 to 15 mile per hour wind coming through. That is certainly going to make things a lot more interesting here on Championship Saturday. See, a very nice gallery is out here enjoying. Please go out and share our link with everyone you know. Let them know that we are broadcasting live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV. We're so glad that you could join us this entire week. Today we're hoping for an exciting finish from our top 4 competitors. Of course, Simon Lizotte busting out a 41 yesterday in very impressive fashion, more than an 1100 rated round.
Greg Barsby and Will Schustrick.
Making an announcement regarding the second card. Shortly, we'll be also giving you the DGA secret word of the day. We've had 3 of them for the past 3 days. Today is going to be the word squall. S-Q-U-A-L-L. Squall is the secret word of the day. If each of the 4 days you went out and went to bit.ly.com, bitly.com/mockx, you were then eligible and entered into our contest to win a DGA Mock X basket. We've got Seppu Paju lining up his putt over on hole number 1. This would be for a penalty 3. And Seppu has missed. I may stand corrected. I'm seeing so many different golf shots here this week regarding if Seppu had gone in the water on hole 1 here. I apologize about that. This is definitely Drew Gibson and definitely his birdie opportunity here. If you're not seeing us in full, beautiful 720 resolution, go to the bottom on the right-hand side of your YouTube viewer. There should be a little gear if you're looking at it in a browser window. And if you see a gear, you can click on that and bump up the resolution to 720. You should be getting that all day today. Of course, we've said it numerous times before, we are confident in all of our execution here. We just hope that technology remains on our side. That always seems to be the number one challenge here in live broadcasting. Ricky Wysocki shooting a 41 during the opening round. I know he's excited to get back here and get another chance at the fountain. He's going to have to recap some of that magic that he opened the tournament with on Wednesday. He's a few strokes behind, sitting on the second card. And if he's going to have any chance at hunting down some of our top players, he's going to need to come out with another solid round today. This is Drew for birdie. Drew makes good. And Nate Sexton also in for birdie. If anyone did have any problems with the link, you should be able to try it again. bitly.com/MachX, MACHX. And on Tuesday night's SmashBoxxTV podcast, we will be drawing a winner. You can enter yourself just one last time today. At most, you could have 4 entries into this free giveaway, and you will be receiving a MachX basket to anywhere in the continental U.S., free shipping. If you're outside the U.S., we will work with DGA to make sure we can find a way to get your basket to you at a reasonable cost. We've got Will Schusterek, Ricky Wysocki, Nico LaCastro, and Greg Barsby here on our second card. They're going to be ready to tee off in just a few moments. Nico LaCastro sitting 28 under par, along with Ricky Wysocki, Greg Barsby 27, and Will Schusterek 26 under par. Nico LaCastro on the tee.
All right, folks. Quiet, please. Players on the tee. Next up on the tee box, Nico LaCastro.
Nico going with a big hyzer out and around. That's got more than enough distance, and it's a beautiful shot.
Next up on the tee box, Ricky Wysocki.
Again, Ricky opening with a 41 on Wednesday. And as this shot carries from right to left, that looks very nice. He is just deep, but it looks like he'll be about 35 feet from the pin.
Next up on the tee, Greg Barsby.
Greg Barsby has a great looking shot coming in and just inside the circle's edge.
Next up on the tee box, Will Schusterek.
And Will Schusterek going with a spike hyzer, however, it comes up short. And the spotter will determine. It looks as if he's going to get a spot near the basket, meaning that he crossed over at that point. Will Schustrick begging a little bit for the crowd to give him an applause. And of course, yesterday in talking with Simon Lizotte during our very lengthy podcast last night, Simon said that it seems to be very hard to impress an American crowd in the sport of disc golf. So he wants everyone to make sure that they're cheering and applauding all of the different shots. He was very entertaining last night in telling us all about his perception of playing disc golf here versus in Germany and beyond.
Open division. Simon Lizotte, Jeremy Koling, Paul McBeth, and David Feldberg. Quick announcement for all you spectators. First and foremost, we want to thank you all for coming to the 2015 Memorial Championship presented by Discraft.
Michael Downs of the PDGA giving some announcements to the crowd.
Reminder to everybody, I want you to take a look at your camera and your cell phone right now and make sure it is in the silent or the vibrate position. We want to make sure that there are no distractions for our competitors this afternoon. Please and thank you. Have a double check at your phone and your camera. No taking pictures if your sound is on. Please and thank you. We do have a little bit of an order this afternoon. We are going to let our players be in front of everybody else and their caddies just behind them. Just behind our caddies, we will see a leaderboard that you can check to see who your leaders are. Also, I want to mention that if you look at your phone, pdgalive.com, you can check out the active leaderboard. We've got about 6 or 7 cards in the open division, and you'll be able to see exactly where everybody is in the pecking order. So you can stay current with the scores on pdgalive.com. Behind our leaderboard carrier will be several of our fantastic volunteers with these quiet please signs. They will hold them up in the air when it is time for you to be quiet please.
Too low. Got the line right, but just too low. If I get it where is the wall in or out? Wall's in. Go get him, kid.
We can, Johnny, if you're ready, Joe, Johnny.
Next up on the tee box, Paul McBeth.
Here comes Paul McBeth's tee shot, looking very nice. He's looking for that to scoot down and to the left. He's just about at the circle's edge. Dave Feldberg, fourth to tee, sitting at 29 under par. And Feldberg hanging it out wide right. That's not going to carry all the way to the pin, but he will be up and looking down. He may have an approach shot from there and maybe a layup here on this first hole. You've just seen the tee shots here on hole number 1. We're out at the Fountain Hills Disc Golf Course in Fountain Hills, Arizona. Currently, the overcast skies are looking to hold off on any wind or additional rain, should I say. We saw 4 safe drives by our top 4 competitors. We're excited to bring you a full day of coverage here as this championship Saturday concludes. Simon Lizotte sitting with a 2-stroke lead over Ricky Wysocki to start the round. Very solid gallery of both players and spectators have come out to take in the action here today. Everyone hoping that the rain will subside and not return as we saw last year during our final round. And Dave doing really what you can only do from back there about 50 feet away is lay up.
Yeah, you can stop. Got the whole grain on.
Ricky Wysocki is lining up his drive on hole number 2, and this leader card will in fact stay down so that the competitors on hole number 2 can get their tee shots off. And Wysocki has thrown his forehand into the water off the tee on hole number 2. Craig Barsby also throwing a forehand. A great shot there by Craig Barsby. Will Schustrick on the tee. And Schustrick going up and over. Some players throw forehand out to the left-hand side or up the middle on the right. However, Schustrick always goes out and over the trees. This will be Simon Lizotte. And Simon Lizotte's putt rolls just over the edge. Paul McBeth from 30 feet. And a little fist pump by Paul McBeth. He started off from 30 feet with a birdie on the first hole. Paul letting UC Maresma know that his flash was going off. And Koling taps in from less than 10 feet. Simon Lizotte is going to relinquish 2 strokes to both Koling and McBeth, and 1 to Dave Feldberg here. Simon mouthed the words wow, or the word wow, after seeing that putt get up and somehow roll over the edge. It was a relatively soft putt, however it found its way up and over the edge and into the out of bounds.
The winds push them down.
McBeth and Koling striking first here with birdie 2s on hole number 1. They each gain 2 strokes on Simon Lizotte. That should put Jeremy Koling tied with Lizotte after the first hole, and Paul McBeth within 2 of both of them.
3, please.
And we're watching as our second card throws their shots. Earlier in the day, Ken Climo informed us that Patrick Brown eagled hole number 2, threw it in from the fairway on this very hole. Patrick Brown had eagled it. Ken spoke of the battle that he had back and forth with Patrick. However, once they got toward the backside, Patrick struggled on a hole, and I believe the terminology that was used was a 4-putt plus a layup on hole 12. And that seemed to be the main difference between the two of them. Ken Climo is again your champion here at the Memorial. We're going to see a number of holdups take place here today, as there is a very large gallery that continues to form, as well as more spectators that are coming off of the course, or I should say players that then become spectators. And we're glad that you are at home in the comfort of your living room or wherever you may be. Or as Rebecca Kersey said, she was watching while in traffic. I certainly do not recommend or encourage that. However, we do want you logged in, taking in all the action here on SmashBoxxTV. And we're seeing Nico LaCastro throw his second shot here on hole number 2. Going with a hyzer that skips, and looks like that is going to possibly sit down within 15 feet of the pin. Very nice shot by Nico LaCastro. We certainly anticipate backups once we get around to holes 7 or 8. That seems to be a very consistent backup that we have seen throughout the years, and we're going to be talking with some of our players that have come with some of the course. And in just a few moments, we're going to be back with our leader card. Of course, plenty of discussion on social media and beyond yesterday in reference to Paul McBeth's bag gone missing. There have not been any other updates, and we're going to be back with you right here. Hole number 2, Jeremy Koling on the tee. Koling with a forehand shot that just barely goes out and over the water, and it finishes perfectly on the fairway. Well executed shot by Jeremy Koling. Paul McBeth lining up a backhand shot. McBeth shot a little low, however he's getting a great skip into the center of the fairway as well. Dave Feldberg, third on the tee. And there is an OB line on the right-hand side. It looks like Dave even clipped one of the single flags that denotes the OB on the right-hand side. And Simon Lizotte goes out and around the trees rather than going through them. And a very nice shot by Simon. This is the first of only a few par 4s out here on the Fountain Hill course. We're excited to bring you all of today's action here at the 2015 Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. I'd like to thank all of our supporters that have contributed to us throughout the week, making this broadcast possible. Of course, including Discraft, the Ledgestone Insurance Open with Nate Heinold over in the greater Peoria area, and Plastic Addicts. If you need any discs, please check out plasticaddicts.net, giving away a free Lil Wizard with any purchase that you make with them this week. Spinners on the Green here in Scottsdale, Arizona, also a sponsor and supporter for the week. Sail On Computer Technologies helping you out. The PDGA, and of course Disc Golf Association. Thank you to everyone that has helped out this week, and if you contributed or donated in any capacity, we appreciate that as well. And the crowd likes it. McBeth's approach shot is within 30 feet from the pin. Feldberg looking for a hyzer skip finish on that. And now he wants to roll. He's got a little bit of that as well. Next to throw will be Jeremy Koling, lining up another forehand shot. Koling with a light turnover that is hyzer finishing. And Koling puts his hands up. Seems as if it may even hit the pole more than once. And very nice shot that the gallery likes. And a perfect shot by Simon Lizotte. As you can see, Simon Lizotte tied with Koling at 34 under par. Paul McBeth 2 strokes back at 32. Dave Feldberg at 29. And Feldberg's putt from 32 feet is just off the front of the basket. And McBeth is in from 25 feet. Another fist pump by McBeth. You can tell he is excited and ready to go here today. Koling taps in for his birdie 3, as will Lizotte. So we find Koling, Lizotte, McBeth all with birdie 3s. Dave Feldberg is going to settle for a par 4. We're through 2 holes here at the Fountain Hills course. We're going to move over to more action on hole number 3 with Gary to the O. We are back here on hole number 3, and Jeremy Koling is on the tee. He's setting up for a forehand shot. And Koling has placed himself at the base of the hole. Perfect shot by Jeremy Koling. Paul McBeth going with a backhand. I believe that's a Firebird. And a very nice shot there by Paul McBeth. He's played players are faced with a stiff headwind right now, at least 15 to 20 miles per hour. And Simon's going to need for that to get left in a hurry, otherwise he's going to find himself out of bounds way back here, closer to the tee. And unfortunately, we did not get any indication of him being safe there. And Dave Feldberg seems as if that may have come out a little bit early and short. He's going to find himself safe, but on the left-hand side.
Did your hand just touch my hand? That's weird.
It's possible.
On to the show. Let's go.
On to the show. Yeah, two red beards here. Telling you about hole 3, Fountain Hills. We got an elevated basket. Plays about 280, maybe. Nice little hyzer. We'll get you there. There's OB all around the pin. And you got to watch out for pedestrians.
And birds. Not birdies that you want to get, but birds like that fly around. They like to hang out here. Birdie-boo!
Simon asking for it to go, throwing his putter what seemed to be just a bit short and right. He has struggled here. Dave Feldberg finds himself about 15 feet short of the 10-meter circle. And Feldberg doing a little dance here. Unfortunately, not enough power to get it up and into the basket. Simon Lizotte is left with at least 25 feet here for his, what will be bogey 4. And Lizotte's putt is on the left-hand side, and somehow this DGA Mock Axe did not pull it in. And in very rare form, we see McBeth miss inside the circle. And for the first time here, Jeremy Koling has taken the outright lead here on the 3rd hole. Koling's birdie will give him a 3-stroke advantage over Paul McBeth, and Simon Lizotte relinquishes 3 strokes to Koling on this hole alone. It's elevated basket number 3. We're going to move over to hole number 4, where we're going to get a preview from the ever so wonderful Dana Vici and Paul Oman.
Hello, Smash Boxies or Smashies or Boxers or Smash Boxers. My name's Dana, and we're here at hole 4, Fountain Hills. It's about 460 feet downhill. It plays a little shorter. The right-handers are going to want to swing a big hyzer out over the road and have it check in. That's the best way as a right-hander to get the birdie too, and this is a very birdieable hole. So let's see what Paul Oman can do for us here.
Jeremy Koling getting at it at this 463-foot downhill shot. Looks like he is safe and on the right-hand side. A very big hyzer. We feel a wind at our back. Paul McBeth on the tee. And McBeth a little bit tentative here. He knew he needed to throw it harder than he did. Feldberg looking for that to drop down. He's going to be on the left-hand side. That might have been, oh, and the gallery seems to be panning over to double check. And he finally gets the safe sign. McBeth again sitting at 29. Correction, Feldberg sitting at 29 under par. And Simon with more than enough power. And a very nice shot that the gallery likes. 463-foot hole number 4. We're going to move down, check out the action. Again, we're feeling about a 15 to 20 mile an hour tailwind at us right now as we walk down the fairway on hole number 4. This is the cloudiest and coldest that we've felt the conditions all week. And once we could spot the action, Jeremy Koling is putting from the right-hand side. Next to putt, Paul McBeth. And Paul McBeth showing why he is the best in the game from nearly 70 feet downhill. McBeth cards the birdie too, and the crowd erupts. Simon Lizotte has a grin on his face. He can appreciate the amazing shot there by Paul. We're going to move into position behind Dave Feldberg's tee shot here. Feldberg looks to be about 38 feet from the pin. And Feldberg's step putt is just to the right of the pin.
Trying a new putter for the first time. Nice choice.
And Simon back on track with the birdie. Both him and Koling had a grin on their faces after seeing Paul's putt. Feldberg will put in for his 3. And this will be Koling for his 3. We've got a lengthy walk over to hole number 5. We're going to stand down for just a few moments. If you're not tuned in and jacked up about this action here on our Saturday championship round, then you do not belong in disc golf. You're watching live action right here on SmashBoxxTV.
The Mach X by DGA, the evolution of disc golf.
All right, I'm Paul Oman, and we're here on hole 5 at the beautiful Fountain Hills course. Behind me, we got about, I'd say it plays about 300 feet. Got a little left to right crosswind, OB on the right in the street, and OB long sidewalk, I believe. I'm just gonna try and play a nice little soft hyzer stand up right at the basket.
Get all the way behind the basket. Get yours. All right. Hold up, hold up. And a very nice shot here by Paul McBeth. Put himself inside 25 feet for the birdie 2. Simon Lizotte finds himself just outside the circle's edge. Jeremy Koling throwing out and over the gallery, and that's going to come in and stops just short of this 10-meter circle. He's going to have about 35 feet for look at birdie. Dave Feldberg off to a relatively slow start here. He's going to need to pick it up as McBeth seems to be getting into his final round routine here. And Feldberg lands just outside the circle as well. As you can see by our leaderboard, Jeremy Koling sitting at 36 under par, McBeth and Lizotte at 34, and Dave Feldberg at 29. Lizotte will be first to putt. And McBeth is Lizotte putting into a headwind. The disc had carried up and over the basket. He is out of bounds. And a little bit of wind affected Dave Feldberg's putt as well. This is Koling, who currently has the outright lead at 36 under par. Koling with a fist pump makes good on the birdie. McBeth also in for the birdie too. Both McBeth and Koling will be gaining at least 2 more strokes, or I shall say extending past Lizotte by 2 strokes on this hole. Lizotte with some frustration. He's going to put in for a bogey 4. And Feldberg with a 3 on hole number 5. All right, we're going to have a brief walk. We do have a whole preview for you. We're going to move over to the next hole on hole number 6.
Hello, Smashies. We're here at hole 6, Fountain Hills. It's about 220 feet. There's a couple different routes you can take. The righty hyzer is the preferred shot for me, but what I have to do is make sure I don't land it on the hill on the right, because if you land it on the hill, odds are you're going to walk up there and you're going to see your disc out in the middle of the road. The left-handed throwers or the forehand throwers do have a lefty spike hyzer, or if you're Michael Johansson or something and like to throw through trees or whatnot, you can go right up the gut, but I don't imagine a lot of people will be doing that, so let's see what the hyzer does.
Paul McBeth going up and over, as we'll see from most of our players. And Paul is happy with that. Very nice looking shot here on hole number 6. Koling appears to be lining up a forehand. The wind is blowing from left to right here on this hole. Deep breath by Jeremy Koling. He's checking the wind. And Koling is going back to the bag. He may be changing up the game plan here. Nope, just a disc change. And Koling putting it up into the wind. Let's see if it sits down. And it is safe. We're not sure if it rolled at all, but it is at least safe. Feldberg's shot is on the right-hand side, and with the gallery moving, that looks like that is carrying toward the road. There is not any confirmation as of this point. Simon Lizotte, 4th to tee. And Simon looking at a very nice shot, and the gallery likes it. Those are your tee shots here on this short but difficult hole number 6. Conversation as to someone had picked up the disc and moved it, and some other spectators in Dana Vici giving us a direct spot as to where it went out. Dave Feldberg is 42 feet from the pin, looking straight uphill. It does kiss off the top of the basket, however. He's going to have to settle for a bogey 4 here and further distance himself from the rest of this group. Koling is absolutely dumbfounded as to how that came out. It looked like it was in and had stalled. Simon with another birdie here on hole number 6. Dave Feldberg's going to have 8 feet for his bogey 4, and Paul McBeth with just 3 feet for his birdie. That is short but technical hole number 6. We're going to move over to the Peninsula hole, the first of 3 on hole number 7 in just a few moments. You're watching live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV.
Got hole number 7 here. I'm Paul Oman out at Fountain Hills. It's a very deceiving short shot from the tee pad. As you can see, the basket's placed on a peninsula. Right in front of the peninsula is a nice little finger grove of water that you'd like to stay away from here. I'm going to try a nice controlled hyzer putter shot under the tree and try and nestle it under the basket. Keep it away from the water. Sounds like water.
Start walking to follow them. Okay, thank you. You're doing good.
Johnny, how much longer? Johnny, bring it back to us right now. Right now, Johnny, bring it back.
We are over here on hole number 7. McBeth has birdied the first 5 of 6 holes. He is within 1 of Jeremy Koling and the lead right now. And he's going to finish just on the circle's edge. Many times throughout the broadcast this week and, well, indefinitely, you may hear us talk about inside or outside the circle. The circle being at 32.8 inches, or 32 feet and 8 inches, I should say. And Simon Lizotte is also just inside that, otherwise known in most of the country, or I should say in other countries, as 10 meters. Anytime a player's inside that 10-meter circle, they are not able to fall forward with their putts per PDGA rules. At some large events, you may see the circle actually painted, as we see all this week. Gives the players a really great indication as to how far away they are from the basket and whether or not they're able to perform what is some would call a falling putt. Here comes Jeremy Koling's backhand, and that's coming in nicely. And as you can see, just a few feet from both Paul and Simon, things are moving along very nicely. There's typically a large backup that we find right around this intersection on the 7, 8, 9 exchange. This is Feldberg's. That's going to definitely go deep. And he has found himself in the water. The spotter, who is a volunteer, will give us a spot. And Dave Feldberg, he continues to struggle here at the Fountain Hills course. He's OB. And this very nice looking gallery. The second card is taking in the action. We see Ricky Wysocki, Nico LaCastro, Will Schustrick all watching on. Simon Lizotte sitting at 34 under par, Koling at 37, McBeth at 36, and Dave Feldberg at 28. Jeremy Koling from approximately 38 feet will be putting first. And Big Germ goes with the smart play, so to speak, and lays up to within a few feet of the pin. And thanks to the number plate, Simon Lizotte does not carry OB on that shot. And Dave Feldberg makes good on his putt from just about at the circle's edge. Feldberg cards a 3. And McBeth with a putt just off the front of the basket. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Our players on the leader card are exactly 1/3 of the way through this round. There are typically a huge backup here on holes 8 and 9 because of the peninsula greens. However, we're not seeing that today. There's a large gallery out there that is taking in all of the action. We're glad that you're at home taking in this action as well. It's been an amazing start to this tournament, or to this final round. Paul McBeth misses a putt. However, he has birdied the first 5 out of 7 holes, and we're looking for a great back 9. I'm Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. You're tuned in right here on SmashBoxxTV. Soon we'll be crowning our champion at the 2015 Memorial Championships.
Disc golf. It's in the air.
Hey, I'm Nate Doss. We're out here at the Fountain Hills Disc Golf Course in beautiful Fountain Hills, Arizona. It's a par 4, it's over 500 feet. Very difficult hole because you're playing along the water's edge. Your tee shot has to get up and over these first set of trees, out to the first hump, and then your second shot's gonna go down over the corner of the water, down to a peninsula green. This is the second of 3 straight peninsula green holes. So you gotta kind of try to play it safe, but you know, hopefully you can get your birdie. It's a very birdieable hole. So that's hole 8.
I have had the pleasure of catching up with one Zoe Andyke of Legacy Disc and Paragon Disc Golf. Zoe, you just got off the course and you're sitting pretty. Tell us about it.
Well, I'm in third place right now. I shot a 57, which is the best I've done at the Fountain, and I'm feeling pretty good. I played my game today.
What was working for you? Anything in particular? Drives, putts, approaches, anything in particular that was working out there?
Well, I feel like I was really in my body for each skill, but quite honestly, the thing that works the best, and it's for every disc golfer, is I got my focus to 0 before every shot. I was able to execute confidently.
Well, that makes sense. Now, who were you playing with, and what was the dynamics within the group?
I had such an awesome card. I had Val Jenkins, Owen Scoggins, and Jacqueline Halstad. And they're all really good friends of mine. And they all play really great disc golf, really different games, different shots that we all throw.
And Nico Castro from the second card is teeing off. And a very nice shot there by Nico Castro. Greg Barsby next to tee. And Greg Barsby going after the gallery, scattering them like birds we'd find out here at the Fountain Hills course. Ricky Wysocki also with a booming drive that clears the trees. This hole par 4 at 570 feet. Bill Schustrick on the tee. And Schustrick with a slight flip-up shot. Looks to have a similar finish to what we saw from just a few moments ago. Very nice shot. We're going to move down the fairway with the second card. We'll be able to bring you some more action from the second card, as well as turning around and getting the leader card once they catch up. Again, very common hold up here that we find on these 3 peninsula holes, 7, 8, and 9. Most of the holes need to wait for the players in front of them to clear out, which is why you're finding that a backup can start. We'd like to thank everyone that has been out there tuned in all week long. If you like what you've seen, please feel free to go out and support any of our sponsors. In fact, and support all of our sponsors and advertisers from the week. Also, if you feel like supporting us, you can do so on a voluntarily basis. Go out to disc. Check us out on SmashBoxxTV/support. That's SmashBoxxTV/support. And you can make a donation of any kind if you'd like. We see Greg Barsby at 32 under par. We'll bring you more of the scores here from the second card in just a moment. We see Zach Melton on the tee of the next hole. Our second card is standing down while the third card makes their tee shots. Paragon sponsored Paul Ullman on the tee. The third card has cleared from the next tee, which means we will be back to the action here from the second card in just a moment. Greg Barsby with a very overstable mid-range. He's going to need for that to sit down, and he gets a green flag. He'll have a putt from there. Nico asking for his shot to roll to the basket. Barsby sitting at 32 under par. LeCastro also at 32. Wysocki at 30. And Schusterich at 28. Schusterich releases his approach, and it's just past the basket. However, it does come up short of the water. He gets the green flag. And Wysocki gets a little bit of a roll, however it looks to be just fine. No problems there for Wysocki. As you can see, the fountain going off here at the Fountain Hills Park goes off every hour. One of the beautiful sights that you find when you come out here to the Memorial Championships. Unfortunately, it is beautiful until the fountain gets you wet, as it's doing at the moment.
Hey.
Ken Climo rolling on through here. And Nico misses his putt. Some frustration released on the ground there after the missed putt. He's going to have to take a par 4. This is Greg Barsby for his birdie 3 attempt. Many of the players, and Barsby is just off the front of the basket. As you can see, it continues to roll, and we find Barsby OB. We encourage everyone to please go out there and share our YouTube link to let everyone know that live disc golf is happening right here on SmashBoxxTV. I'm your host, Terry Miller, the Disc Golf Guy. Amazing staff and crew out here trying to bring you all of this live action this week. Gary to the O on the camera, along with Joe Height. We have Stu Mullenberg helping us with some amazing graphics and photos, as well as Brandon Goldner out there. Thank you guys so much for the help this entire week. Johnny V back at the studio controls. It's just been an absolutely amazing week, and we are just 9 holes short of crowning our 2015 Memorial Championships winner. Will Schusterich has no problems putting in for the 3. Ricky Wysocki does the same. This will be Nico LaCastro, who will remain at 32 under par. So far, we have not seen anyone from the second card making a official charge, so to speak, at this leader card. It's going to be hard to do when Paul McBeth has birdied 5 of the first 7, and Jeremy Koling is on a similar pace. Simon Lizotte has unfortunately struggled. And we are going to get back in position here in just a moment. We are seeing that the entire leader card is getting completely soaked. All of the spectators, all of the people out here that are taking in the action, unfortunately, are getting soaked, and that is about to stop as the fountain is dying down. If it is too windy, they do not put the fountain up at full sail. So we see the fountain is actually settled, but the entire leader card and the gallery around it is completely soaked. Unfortunately, they should have just gotten up and moved right as soon as the fountain started, but they are going to find themselves wet over there from the fountain water. And we will be in position in just a moment. We're also going to catch up and get some audio information out of Jeremy Rusko, who's going to be hosting another national tour stop. Jeremy, is it going to be this windy at the Glass Blown Open national tour event?
Well, it's been windy in the past. Last year we had excellent weather conditions, so it's just, coming out of the end of April, it's just kind of a coin flip on whether you're going to get 30, 40-mile-an-hour winds or whether you're going to get beautiful, Kansas weather that time of the year. So we're hoping for good weather.
All right, and I know we discussed on the podcast last evening on our wrap-up show more than 900 competitors, and you don't want any more. You can't take them.
Oh, we want more, but we can't support it with the courses that we have in town, and we'd like to keep everybody in close proximity to Emporia. So we're at 900 this year, and we hope to have another course or 2 in the ground for next year to get 1,100 or 1,300.
All right, we're back with the action as Paul McBeth is throwing a booming drive, what may be arguably the longest drive ever seen on this hole. What do you say about that shot?
Oh my gosh, these guys are good.
Not sure if that's trademarked or not by the PGA or any other major sports affiliation, but he's right. These guys are good. As McBeth has hit his stride here, he should have a relatively easy up and down. Looking at another birdie opportunity. If you are tuned in and watching disc golf, I know you have at least one friend that you can also convince to go out there and take in the action. Please go out and share our link with everyone you know on any form of social media. Facebook, Twitter. I believe if you have a MySpace account, your friend Tom would want to watch disc golf. You should certainly do that. And Simon Lizotte next to throw. And Simon Lizotte going for the green, and had he not had the headwind coming in at him, I have no doubt that he would have been able to reach that. I believe this hole measures 570 feet. And we've got Jeremy Koling coming straight at us, up and over. And just when we thought Paul McBeth had thrown a perfect shot, Koling is in fact 20 feet further than McBeth. Feldberg's shot is coming over. And what many would consider a very good shot seems to be somewhat dwarfed by the sheer magnitude of the previous three throwers. Feldberg should be in good position. If you're interested in winning a DGA Mach X, we've got the best way in the world for you to do that. Go out to bit.ly.com, bit.ly.com/Mach X, MACHX. Enter in your information, and with that, you will be then eligible to win a DGA Mach X. We'll be giving that away on Tuesday night's podcast, where you will see both our producer Johnny V and myself back in our Milwaukee, Wisconsin studios. Unfortunately, it's going to be far colder than what we're experiencing right now. I'll take a 20-mile-per-hour winds in mid-60s any day over below zero, as they're experiencing back in Milwaukee. So hello to everyone out there. If you're experiencing any kind of cold weather right now, we're sorry you are not here taking it in, but we're glad you're tuned in watching live. Dave Feldberg's going to be first to throw. As I talk with my 4- and 6-year-old girls back home, Allison and Mackenzie, sharing is caring, and we want you to do that with our link. Go out and do that right now from our YouTube channel. And Feldberg with an absolutely perfect shot onto the green. He's going to be looking at an easy 3 from there. And McBeth with a perfect shot as well. He's got an easy 3 lined up. Currently sitting at 36 under par. Koling's going to be happy with that. And Simon Lizotte landed in this slight water bay here. And with a jump putt, he has landed right next to the basket. Lizotte will be able to recover and take a par 4 from there. Believe it or not, we are just 8 holes in, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 11 to go. We hope you're enjoying all of our action here at the 2015 Memorial Championships presented by Discraft. Live broadcast coverage also brought to you in part by the 2015 Ledgestone Insurance Open. Nate Heinold in the greater Peoria area doing amazing things with more than $65,000 added cash to his tournament in Peoria, and more than a $10,000 contribution to the St. Jude Foundation, also of the greater Peoria area. So look for the amazing Ledgestone Insurance Open taking place in August 2015. We're going to move over and catch some action from the next card. We'll be back with you in a few moments.
Hey Joe, you want to interview me?
What?
Alright,
Love what you guys do. Thanks, buddy. Alright, let's start strategizing where we want to be, what we want to do. Yep, Gary. What's that?
I'm going to catch his hydro up here on the corner.
For this next hole.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's figure out where we want to send Gary. G-O. It's on you, Johnny says. Nice. Johnny, we're just trying to debate where we're going to line ourselves up. Yeah, that's
50, 60 feet up this way.
That's fine, Johnny. It's going to be a while. We're waiting on the second card needs to tee yet. The third card is putting as Geo is on the third card. Yeah, give it a little time. The third card. Are they going to be able to drive this peninsula?
Is it right here?
No, they just came off that hole.
Oh, it's this one?
Yeah.
Alright, further down.
You want to go all the way down to that bike? Let's go down to
What, this tree right
that. They're gonna get past it.
I know.
That's fine.
I can catch it.
Okay. Well, hold on.
Join the excitement at pdga.com. Disc golf is in the air. Join the excitement at pdga.com. Disc golf is in the air.
The Mach X by DGA, the evolution of disc golf.
Plastic Addicts Disc Golf Supplies, home of the Discraft Ledgestone Edition releases, including the new TI Comets, TI Zones, TI Bangers, Crystal Flex Zones, Glow Flex Buzzes, and much, much more. Be on the lookout for the next Ledgestone release on March 25th. Plastic Addicts also carries a full line of products by the top companies, revolutionizing the sport. Plastic Addicts also has a full line of custom Plastic Addicts apparel, including hoodies, hats, dry fits, thermals, patches, towels. Need disc golf supplies? Look no further. Plastic Addicts for all your disc golf cravings.
And we've caught back up with our second card, Ricky Wysocki with a forehand just a few feet short of the pin. Greg Barsby throwing his approach shot. He's going with a backhand. And no problems for Barsby. He should be able to clean up from there. Nico LaCastro with a very nice drive. Came in just past the edge of the water there. Hole number 9, in my opinion, notorious for the fact that this is one of the few birdies, and I do mean few, birdies that Paul McBeth missed en route to his 39 a few years ago. Some argue as to if this is a par 3 or 4 because of its challenge. And Nico chains in and out. Again, we love those Mach X's. I am very surprised. That proves how strong this wind is, as nearly everything that comes anywhere near a Mach X goes in. No problems for Greg Barsby. Ricky Wysocki is in, Nico and Will, so 4 threes here on hole number 9 for these competitors. And in just a few moments we're going to be able to come over here and get back to our leader card. Again, it's going to be just a few moments. I believe we see Simon Lizotte and Jeremy Koling with a little hacky sacking going on up on the tee box. Dave Feldberg getting in on the action along with Simon. That's exactly what some of these players need to do to make sure they stay loose and warm. It's going to be just a few moments here before our competitors are ready to go. They're clear on hole number 9. And Paul McBeth is on the tee. Ten holes for these competitors left to go here before we crown our champion. Please make sure you go out and let everyone know that we have live disc golf happening right here on SmashBoxxTV. If you like what we've done this week, or even if you didn't, and you want to go ahead and support or donate to us, you're more than welcome to do so. No pressure, of course, but if so, you can find us on SmashBoxxTV/support. Thank you to anyone and everyone that has made a contribution throughout the week. Jeremy Koling with a very nice shot. He finds himself safe. Simon Lizotte is known as one of the most aggressive players on tour. We'll see what he's going to do right after Dave Feldberg's shot. Simon, of course, going for the eagle on the previous hole. And it looks like he is going for birdie here. And the gallery erupts. They like Simon's aggressive play. I know Simon has given up a number of strokes here in the first few holes on this front 8. And I know that he is looking to get them back. And if he's going to do that, he's going to need to be aggressive from here on out. As you can see, many of our players with umbrellas and raincoats in hand. Everyone just hoping and praying we do not have a repeat from what we saw last year with the absolute torrential downpour that visited us during the final round. Hole number 8.
Val Jenkins, and we're at Fountain Hills on hole 9. This is another peninsula hole. You'll see behind me there's the first peninsula. The basket sits on the second one. The water juts in right where the hill goes down and back. There's some people fishing there, so you want to stay clear and you want to stay to the right. Make your upshot right under the basket, hopefully, and yeah, just stay dry on this one. That's the key.
Jeremy Koling currently sitting at 38 under par with Paul McBeth just 1 stroke behind. Simon Lizotte 34 and Dave Feldberg at 29. Great shot by Paul McBeth. And Feldberg with a very overstable putter nestles it right underneath the basket. Simon Lizotte from 38 does not draw medal. He somewhat chuckles to himself. Unfortunately, that will be giving up at least an additional stroke. The best he's going to be able to card here is a 4. McBeth is in for 3. Simon giving himself a full 1 meter relief from the water's edge. No problem spot Koling, and Feldberg also puts in for the 3. So there you have it. They are officially through 9 holes here during this 4th and final round at the 2015 Discraft Memorial Championships. We're going to move over and get more action. They're heading off to the back 9. The other day we saw Ricky Wysocki throw just 18 times in 9 holes. We'll see if anyone's on pace to do that today. Simon Lizotte has fallen off of the lead a little bit. We're seeing this being a Koling and McBeth race at the moment. Let's see how they finish out. Paul McBeth going out around on that right-hand side, coming in. He's going to have a look from there. Dave Feldberg, third to tee. Feldberg coming in with a lower line, trying to get up toward the basket there, and unfortunately it gets hung up. And Simon also going out and on the right-hand side. And he did not filter through the pin as much as he'd like to. We'll see if he can make a putt from there. And Jeremy Koling has really nothing to do there except for just lay up. We'll show you what Dave Feldberg's looking at. And Feldberg not giving that enough power, as you can see. Very precarious lie, not a shot really at all for a very makeable putt. However, not quite enough power to get there. Simon Lizotte, similar to the previous hole, his putt carries left. Beast mode engaged. Paul McBeth has for the first time tied it up and is here and tied for the lead. He is on the 10th hole. We're moving into the back, and Paul has just tied Jeremy Koling for the lead. Simon Lizotte puts in for his 3. Both Koling and Feldberg will be taking 3s. And Jeremy Koling taps in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen this before. Paul McBeth engaging in beast mode on championship rounds, and he is currently tied for the lead with Jeremy Koling. He was 4 down from the lead going into the round this morning, 2 down to Koling. He has just tied Koling, and it seems to be a 2-horse race right now with McBeth and Koling both 38 under par, with the next closest at Lizotte at 33.
Did you get the scores? Okay, you passed them.
Simon?
Paul McBeth on the tee. A little bit of headwind keeps McBeth's disc up, and it kicks off the tree. He knew he threw a nearly perfect shot. However, it hits off the tree and kicks to the right. Here's Koling with a forehand. Koling needed a little bit more power. He sarcastically is saying yes. He knows that he did not give enough power to that shot. The crowd loves it as Dave Feldberg puts himself within 15 feet. Simon Lizotte with a turnover shot that's hyzering toward the pin, and he's just a bit deep. We're going to show you what this hole looks like through the eyes of Valerie Jenkins.
All right, here we are at hole 11. It's 394 feet. We have some elevation. This hill is just slanting, so the elevation can play your disc all the way down to the water or definitely across the road and the sidewalk. So you want to just have a nice straight shot. You'll see around the basket there's a few palm trees, so those can get in the way when you're putting, but this is a good birdie opportunity.
And Koling with the smart play of just laying up with this downward sloping green. McBeth knew right out of his hand that it was just a bit short. Little body English was hoping for it to get up and over that rim. However, he's going to be taking a par here. Simon with the birdie after driving this 370-foot hole just a bit deep. Koling taking a par, and Dave Feldberg within 10 feet of the pin. No problems for Feldberg. Paul McBeth taps in. We've got a quick hole preview from none other than Nate Goss in just a moment.
Okay, we're here on hole 12. Hole 12 is 286 feet, par 3, downhill. The hole is fairly straightforward, but there's a lot of things to think about. Usually the wind is coming right to left. How far are you going to play it out to the right? How much is the wind going to affect it? The hole is downhill, so you just want to be careful where you end up. There's a sidewalk to the left and behind. Just want to play it nice and wide. Just play it a little short, skip it down the hill to the pin, and get your deuce, get your birdie, and get to the next hole.
Dave Feldberg going with a high hyzer shot around the tree. And he's come up short of the pin. Simon Lizotte also going with the conventional hyzer out around the single palm tree. Paul McBeth third on the tee. McBeth going with a mid-range, looked like a rock 3 perhaps. Finds himself right next to the pin. And Koling hanging it out high and right. It's going to need to sit down. It's got a little action on it, and it looks to be a good shot just deep by Koling. As our leader card moves down to hole number 12, we are going to stick with some of the action here from the second card. We're here on hole number 13 where Ricky Wysocki is about to go for his birdie putt. In fact, we're going to stand down for just a moment. We've got Jeremy Koling is going for his birdie back on the leader card on hole number 12. And Koling's birdie putt comes out on the left-hand side. We've caught up with Greg Barsby here on hole number 13. This is for birdie 2. Barsby makes good. That'll move him to 33 under par. And Will Shoestrike a little bit high, however, is in and will move to 32 under par. We're going to stand still here as Nico LaCastro. He's looking at a birdie also here on hole number 13. Nico makes good for his birdie as well. Ricky Wysocki is in with some frustration here on 13. We're going to move back just behind the pin on number 13 to bring you the action.
Where are you driving from? Right here? You good?
We could not have asked for more drama and excitement here out of this leader card. Paul McBeth. Oh, and Dave Feldberg throws it really low, and unfortunately he does get a skip up, and he's going to be left with a putt. However, he was not intending to throw it that low. Plenty of action here with McBeth and Koling battling it out. Simon Lizotte has fallen off the pace slightly. However, we're looking for a beautiful shot coming in right now as he's put himself within 25 feet of the pin. This is a very low hanging branch that is guarding the tee shot. The play for most of these competitors is to go with a low skip shot. Frequently you see them throwing a driver just to play for that skip at the end. And then the basket is elevated. McBeth coming in nicely, and he is going to find himself the exact same distance of Simon Lizotte. Jeremy Koling's putt slipping out on that left-hand side on the previous hole. Koling somewhat challenged here by his large size and stature. Many of the players are not thinking about that tree branch probably as much as Jeremy Koling. And he comes in low and is playing the skip and finds himself with the closest to the pin. And you see this very nice gallery walking up the fairway. There's a little bit of congestion that we find here on holes 13 and 14. After Dave Feldberg throwing low and skipping off the ground, he's going to have a putt at birdie 2 here. Of course, the Fountain Hills course featuring the DGA Mach X that we've been talking about all week. And you may have seen some wind variation in that putt. Paul McBeth is currently sitting at 39 under par, and with a birdie on that last hole has the outright lead for the first time here today. Again, McBeth started the round 2 behind Koling and 4 behind Lizotte. Paul and Simon discussing if they want to stand down and wait for the tee shots that are taking place on the next hole. Will Schusterich throwing a forehand shot off the tee. Ricky Wysocki also going with a forehand off the tee on the next shot, hole number 14. One of our favorite smashies, and Jordan Castro smashed the ace on hole number 14 in our opening round on Wednesday. Unfortunately, he was a few cards ahead of us, so we simply heard the large uproar. But congratulations to Jordan for the ace on hole number 14. And Paul McBeth does what he does best, which is make pressure putts. Hole number 13, he is in for the birdie 2. Simon with no problems as well, in for the birdie 2. Koling is going to need this putt if he wants to stay within 1 stroke of McBeth. Paul becomes unstoppable. Koling's going to make a slight adjustment. Seems as if he has something in the rim of his putter. Koling's going to need to get this putt if he wants to keep the pressure on McBeth. And as they say in the gallery, big putt by Jeremy Koling. Feldberg's going to be left with 10 feet here for his par. And McBeth will move to 39 under par with Koling at 38. We're going to move up onto the tee here of hole number 14. You're watching live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV. And if you are not on the edge of your seat taking this all in, I'm not sure you qualify as a disc golf fan at this point. This is absolutely amazing. Paul McBeth, 1 stroke lead currently over Jeremy Koling. And Simon Lizotte flirting with a construction site on the right. Paul McBeth up next. Paul McBeth's drive going deep. However, from that side of the pin, he may have a look at birdie there. Koling's looking for his shot to hook up, and it's going to leave him and Dave Feldberg getting close to an ace. We just talked about teammate Jordan Castro acing the other day. And Feldberg has a very nice looking shot. We're moving down here on our 14th hole. The gallery continues to form. We see the fountain going off in a distance as we bring you this amazing coverage. You're watching SmashBoxxTV. If you are interested in supporting any of our efforts from this week or in future endeavors that you're going to see us live later in this year, feel free to go to smashboxx.tv/support. You can make a donation of any kind if you so choose. You can also purchase a Smashbox as seen on smashboxx.tv shirt. You can check that out on paragondiscgolf.com. If you feel so inclined to support us, we appreciate it, of course, and all the support we've got from all of our amazing sponsors, including Miles Parkhill over at Paragon Disc Golf. Paul McBeth finds himself approximately 40 feet from the pin. He's going to have a headwind putt here on hole number 14. Again, McBeth's putt is right on line, unfortunately just a bit short. Jeremy Koling has 32.5 feet. And the gallery erupts as Koling has just tied it up on the 14th hole. Koling keeping the pressure on McBeth and not letting him pull away from him. We've got just 4 holes to play here. Feldberg's putt is in from the left-hand side of the chains. Simon Lizotte will have a somewhat obstructed 15-footer. It looks like he may putt from a single knee here. And no problems for Simon, and Paul McBeth will be tapping in just a moment. We're going to move on to the long hole number 15. You're watching SmashBoxxTV. Stay tuned. We'll be back with you in just a few moments.
The Mach X by DGA, the evolution of disc golf.
And Simon Lizotte is crushing a drive here on hole number 15, getting a roll toward the pin, which hopefully is advantageous. Actually, there are 3 trees that protect the basket up there, and you really need to put yourself in a good position to be able to get to the pin for a putt. Jeremy Koling on the tee, currently tied with McBeth. Jeremy Koling is happy about his shot, and he has landed within a few feet of Paul McBeth, or correction, Simon Lizotte. And Dave Feldberg looking off to his left after hearing some yelling and cheering from what I believe are non-disc golf park users. And Paul McBeth not particularly thrilled with his shot. However, it looks like it should work. He was looking for a little bit more distance. McBeth and Koling currently sitting at 40 under par. I believe this is a 2-horse race at this point. There are not enough trouble to find on these last few remaining holes in order for someone to come up and catch them from there. So I'm going to call it right now. This is a 2-horse race. Jeremy Koling and Paul McBeth.
All right, cool. Yeah.
As we approach our lies here on the players on hole number 15, we've got to send an amazing thanks of gratitude to none other than Gary to the O for operating a camera for us all weekend long. He came out here just looking to vacation and instead stepped up as he's done with me in the past and an amazing helper. And Paul McBeth is good from 33 feet. Jeremy Koling is left with 28 feet to the pin. He's going to need this to, again, keep the pressure on McBeth. Koling answers and will remain tied with McBeth with just 3 holes to play. Simon, although in good spirits, is frustrated. He has just missed his birdie opportunity. Dave Feldberg taps in for his par. We're going to move over here to hole number 16 in just a moment. There is congestion that you find on the 16 and 18 interchange, and we're going to be bringing you the last 3 holes in just a few moments. Stay tuned. You're watching SmashBoxxTV and our presentation of the 2015 Memorial Championships presented by Discraft.
Hi, I'm Gary to the O. This is hole 16 at Fountain Hills. It's about 360 feet. There's a Mando to the right. It's really sunny out here and it's bothered my eyes, but you're gonna hang out a hyzer and go for the birdie.
And we are here on hole number 16. Koling and McBeth tied at 41 under par. There is a mandatory, which players must navigate to the right. Of course, no problem there by Jeremy Koling. However, it looks like he's come up a bit short. McBeth on the tee. And McBeth giving it more than enough power. He's playing this right to left. And McBeth putting the pressure on, just a few feet short. Simon Lizotte's carrying from right to left as well. And right next to McBeth. Great shot by Simon Lizotte. And here is Dave Feldberg. Feldberg shot also pushing from right to left. He's going to need a little more skip. He's going to have a putt from there. Hole number 16, and things are moving along nicely. As we walk down the fairway, we're actually joined for the first time this week. We're joined, I think he's been busy,
little bit. Stuff
Keith,
going
how
on.
you doing, buddy? This is our tournament director. How's it going, pal?
It's been good, man. Everything's going well. Got some great feedback on the new course. Luckily, the rain's holding off. I think we're going to be fine, unlike last year's flooding. But yeah, it's been pretty busy. Keep me on my toes, you know. But that's what we do this for. You know, without the players, we wouldn't be here. I can't thank enough my volunteers. Oh my God, the people that take Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you know, off of work just to come out here and support disc golf and put this show on for these guys. It's amazing, amazing.
All right, well, it's been an amazing week here thus far. We're looking for these last 3 holes to close them out. McBeth and Koling tied with 2.5 holes to play. What do you think about that?
Exciting finish, man. I mean, that's the one thing that we love about this. You know, we haven't had a tie since Will and McBeth tied that a couple years ago. And, man, playoffs are always exciting. So if that were to come about, oh, that's great. It's just free golf for everybody.
He says that it is more golf. We say it's more work here on SmashBoxxTV, but we are more than happy to bring it to you. The players are holding up as we see Ricky Wysocki throwing his tee shot on hole number 17.
You guys at SmashBoxx have been amazing. This footage, as much as I've been able to watch in the little spare time, love it. I mean, it was a great, great addition to the Memorial Championship, and we're so proud to have you guys on board, you know. Along with you and our sponsors like Discraft, New Belgium Brewing Company, Duke's Bar and Grill, Boulders on Broadway. You know, it takes so much to make one of these events happen, and we're just, you know, without the sponsors, the volunteers, the players, you know, and now having you guys on board to bring it live to the masses out there, we love it. We love it.
Well, thank you very much. We're glad to be here. This has been an amazing week, and I think we're going to have Jeremy Koling stepping up in just a few seconds here. Let's see if he can keep the pressure on McBeth. Koling from 55 feet just tickles off the left-hand side, and unfortunately he's going to be just a bit short there. Great effort by Koling. This is going to be an opportunity for McBeth to take a lead by 1 stroke. McBeth still, though, left with 25 feet. Dave Feldberg we find just outside the circle. He's left with 34, maybe 35 feet here. As you can see, the patented step putt by Feldberg. I'm not sure if you could hear that because it was daintily put right into those chains of this Mach X. Dave Feldberg gets the birdie too. That's going to move him to 33 under par. Simon Lizotte currently sitting at 37 under par. This is for birdie. Perfect putt by Simon Lizotte. This is Paul McBeth for the lead and 2 to play. And Jeremy Koling has to be as surprised as the rest of the disc golf world. Paul McBeth not capitalizing on taking the lead by making a 25-footer. I am shocked to see that happen. McBeth, in fact, is going to take a par. We're going to move up to hole number 17. This is a very long hole. We've got a hole preview for you that we'll bring you in just a moment. We've also got action taking place on the green.
going down to 17th green to watch the incoming shot. Oh, I'll go with.
I'm like, thought about, I'm like, I want to see this from the green on this. I got it always. I love this.
And we are back here on the tee of hole number 17. There's a sea of spectators out there. Simon Lizotte on the tee. Applause from the gallery. Dave Feldberg second to tee. Dave Feldberg hanging it out to the right, also playing that nice right to left wind. Got some very annoying bar patrons behind us across the street. And I think Jeremy Koling was in fact testing the bar patrons across the street to see if they would yell in his backswing. And they did not, and Koling's putt is, or drive, excuse me, is rolling. And it is in fact safe. Paul McBeth on the tee. McBeth and Koling tied with just 2 to play. Paul hanging it out there. He's going to need for that to sit down. It's carrying left. And it does continue to carry. He's going to hope that sits down as well. He's going to have a putt from there. However, I'm sure he was looking to hang that a little more out on the hyzer line. We've got just 2 to play and only a few more minutes for you guys to go out to bit.ly.com/mockx. Enter yourself into the drawing so that you could possibly win a MockX basket to be given away on Tuesday night during our podcast. We're going to see if we can get some additional insight from some of our players here shortly. As we're moving down the fairway, I've caught up with an earlier interviewee in Paige Pierce. Paige, you're the champ again. How's it feel?
It feels great.
You've just been hanging out, taking in all the action, tied with Koling and McBeth here on 17. What do you think?
I'm rooting for Jerem always. He's my world doubles partner.
That makes sense. Both great guys, both amazing players. Let's get back to the action.
Yep.
McBeth from nearly 50 feet is just to the right. Koling can take the outright lead going into the final hole with his putt from 40 feet. Koling is short and off the front of the basket. They will be tied going into the 72nd hole of regulation here. And Simon Lizotte with a beautiful birdie shot here on hole number 17. The gallery likes it.
Love it.
And Simon likes that. The gallery loves it. Dave Feldberg also makes good on the birdie. Simon Lizotte with that birdie puts him into third place exclusively. Paul McBeth. I'm not sure that we could draw this up any better, but then again, anytime Paul McBeth is in the hunt, we know that he's going after a win out here at Fountain Hills. He's tied with Jeremy Koling going into the 72nd hole. You're watching live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV.
Hello, good morning. Dana here again, hole 18. It's roughly 400 feet here. There's a number of routes you can take. You can throw the straight shot right at the basket. You can go the righty hyzer, which is a big power shot. Or if you're a forehand or left-handed player, you can go out over the water. So, good luck. Pitch up for the 3, shoot a 44. What up?
We are back here on hole number 18. Simon Lizotte is on the tee, sitting in third place. And Simon's shot turns over and is heading toward the OB on the right-hand side. Looks as if he is safe. Dave Feldberg on the tee. Feldberg's shot is carrying toward the water's edge. It's going to hopefully stop for him, and it's done just that. This is Jeremy Koling's biggest drive of the tournament. And Koling's shot looks to be a little bit low, and it has come up short and on the right-hand side. He's put the pressure on Paul McBeth. And Paul McBeth's shot is coming in. If that hyzer's out, he's going to have a chance for that to skip down toward the pin. Instead, he's going to have a very similar look. He may be just a bit closer than Jeremy Koling. By no means a drop-in birdie. Koling is going to be first to throw between the two of them. Koling will be able to set the stage for what Paul's going to need to do for an answer. Koling and McBeth walking up the fairway here on hole 18, both sitting at 41 under par. And even as a 25-year veteran of this game, I have goosebumps as we are approaching the basket here on the 72nd hole. I feel a few light raindrops. We're going to see if this is going to end here or move into extra holes. Simon Lizotte has a layup from more than 65 feet. Jeremy Koling's going to be first to throw between him and Paul. Jeremy Koling has hit from 65 feet, putting all of the pressure on Paul McBeth. McBeth left with 42 feet. He's going to need this for the tie. And Dave Feldberg's step putt is just a bit short. Paul McBeth for the tie. And this is not over, ladies and gentlemen. Paul answers as cool as ice. Under pressure, McBeth takes it down from 42 feet. There are going to be extra holes here. Simon Lizotte for his final putt. And Dave Feldberg taps in as well. We're going to move up to the scorer's tent. We're going to give you some interviews and do everything we can to keep everyone updated.
Brad Rich. Don't go anywhere. I got the scores.
Yeah,
There you go.
let's take the cards.
Players, Paul McBeth says they need to take the cards up to the scorer's tent. We are going to move up there and bring you the action. I am almost speechless, just beside myself here. As so many of you know from years ago, Will Schusterek in jubilation did not tally up his scorecard, which eventually cost him a two-stroke penalty, forcing a playoff between him and McBeth. All players are encouraged to immediately go right to the scoring tent after this 18th hole. We're going to move on in here. And they are going to add up the scores. We see the second card adding up their scorecard. We're going to also have the leader card putting in their scorecard here in a moment.
Great putt. That's awesome.
In just a few moments, once these scores are tallied and have been officially submitted, we're going to catch up with both Paul McBeth and Jeremy Koling. And then, of course, when it all checks out, we'll move over to a playoff hole, which I'm guessing will begin on hole number 1. Dave Feldberg cards a 51.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not messing this one up. 3 or 4 more times. 98? I want someone else to come. 98. I know, I found Greg while I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, you following the lake?
27 is what I got. Someone double check.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to catch up with Paul McBeth and Jeremy Koling here in just a few minutes once they get their scores officially tallied.
Simon, Feldberg, you turn it in.
I'm going to see if I can get in position to catch up with our gentlemen here in just a moment in this sea of players.
Hey, they already turned. They're good.
We're all good? Turned in.
Paul, Jeremy, you got 2 seconds before you go out, or are you going right to it?
Up to Downs.
We're going to double check on the plan. Michael Downs from the PDGA is going to give the official word. All right, they're ready. We're going to move on over, actually. There's no downtime here. You're watching live disc golf right here on SmashBoxxTV. We've got extra holes at the 2015 Memorial Championships. And in the meantime, as these players are moving over to hole 15, or I'm sorry, hole 1, I see Scott Kesey from DGA. Scott Kesey may join us on the show Tuesday night to help give away that Mach X. And as a guy who knows a lot about winning and playing at the top level, especially with Paul McBeth and so many others, we're going to walk and talk here a little bit with Steve Rico of Legacy Disc. Almost treeing myself there. Steve Rico.
What's going on?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Trying to catch some of the action here towards the end.
Well, you could go home and watch it on SmashBoxx.tv.
Yeah, I'll be watching it later on also.
We're walking over to this playoff. We've seen a playoff here before. What was going through your mind as you're watching a couple of friends and fellow competitors on hole 18?
Well, I thought McBeth was going to walk away with it right there. And then just Big Germ just, smashes a 65-footer, puts the pressure on McBeth. And that guy just got ice water in his veins, bro. He comes back and bangs a 35-footer to send it in overtime. So it'll be interesting how this plays out.
It will. Talk a little bit about your week out here. I didn't see you on the leader card, but I know you were competing in a very fierce nature, as you always do. How'd the week turn out for you?
It was rough. I struggled just about every round. I had my ups and downs. I thought I played okay, but I had some really bad holes every round that just kind of set the way the rest of the round went. So, it happens out here. Today we had to deal with the wind, and just looking forward to the next event.
There you go. Well, we're going to continue. Just keep on walking here and giving you some of the scenery. As we said, there's a long walk from 18 over to 1. Not really much we can do about it here on live TV other than show you some of the scenery out here at Fountain Hills Park. Kelsey Wilmerding, birdie girl, out here competing this weekend. Oh, we're on, Kelsey. Come on over here and chit-chat with us while you walk. We can walk and talk a little bit.
Hi, guys.
You got a face made more for video than I do. How'd it go out there this week?
I had a pretty rough week. It was just tricky, getting the nerves ready for season to start. But, try to keep a smile on my face and finish out. So, it happens. But I'm going to definitely improve next time.
Tell us what you were thinking as you watched those players approach hole 18.
I was hoping they kept it exciting, I never like to see a runaway. It's more exciting when, they're both playing well and pushing each other. So.
Well, that they are. We saw a major putt from Jeremy Koling more than 65 feet away. Then we saw Paul McBeth answer from more than 40. We're going to move over here in just a moment. We're going to catch up with the playoff action. You're watching SmashBoxxTV. We're hustling down as fast as we can for you guys.
Oh, look at them, they're scattering the chairs. Oh, they already have the chair set up. Sorry.
And as you can see, the PDGA has quickly gotten things in place. 42 to 42, both under par. Paul McBeth on the tee. Paul McBeth may have thrown, and in dramatic fashion, McBeth skips up near the basket and then is out and over. Big Germ on the tee. Big Germ shot is higher. It is going to skip down toward the pin. He may have found himself right there. Big Germ's looking at a birdie 2 opportunity. McBeth, however, he's going to have to make his putt just to save 3. The drama is not over here as we're moving on down the fairway here on hole number 1. Big Germ answers here on the first playoff hole, putting himself within 15 or 20 feet here on hole number 1. If you have not already shared this with every friend and disc golfer you know, they have just a few more minutes to get in on this action. We are here on our first playoff hole. This may be the only playoff hole as Koling has put himself within 15 feet of the pin. McBeth is going to have an opportunity to save his 3. Paul McBeth realizes it does not matter. And Paul McBeth has lost to Jeremy Koling here in a playoff. All of his teammates from Prodigy come and congratulate him. Come on, Germ, bring it in. Big Germ with the really high fives as he's so much.
Let's go.
Get it, buddy. Big Germ, I'm just gonna say it. The last time you won a national tour event, SmashBoxxTV was covering it. Are we your good luck charm?
You guys are all yes. Marty McFly, where is he? Wherever he goes, I seem to play well, man. You're my man, dude. I love that guy. Yeah, you guys too. You guys are great.
Oh yeah, thanks.
And everyone back home, everyone everywhere.
Walk us through how you stepped up to that putt on hole number 18, knowing McBeth was certainly within striking range, and you had 70 feet. What were you thinking?
He's the best putter on the planet, I'd say. He's the coldest ice water veins. I mean, he makes everything. I can't lay that up knowing how he seizes the moment. I mean, he's a 3-time world champion, and, you know, you lay that up and you don't give yourself a shot. So I hadn't been putting the greatest this weekend, but I knew I had to have that one. So
you came over here to the playoff hole. Of course, we had to get all the scores turned in before the playoff could happen over here. What were you thinking as you were walking from 18 over to hole 1?
Good question. Nothing. I didn't want to think about anything. I just wanted to do what I've been doing the whole time, keep it in bounds. I didn't have one out of bounds stroke this weekend, which is, my goal is probably less than 20. I mean, there's out of bounds on almost every hole, and I kept it in bounds and gave myself a shot, and that's all I wanted to do on this hole, and I can't even believe I'm here right now. My best finish out here is like 14th. This is unbelievable.
You were down 2 going into today with Simon Lizotte just recording an 1100 rated round yesterday. Paul McBeth 2 behind you. Did you ever think it would shake out in the way that it did?
Yeah, of course.
Well, that's the right attitude. Anything you'd like to say to everyone out there that's tuned in and watching all of us?
I just love you guys so much. I've had so much support from everyone. This is a dream. This is unbelievable. I don't know, man. This is amazing.
All right. Well, it took him 73 holes. Then Jeremy Koling was crowned your 2015 Memorial Champion. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy. I can't really follow that up any better than what Jeremy Koling said. It's been an amazing week out here, staying inbounds the entire week. That's a feat in itself. I can't even imagine doing that. He's getting all of his congratulatory responses from everyone else, and it's been an amazing week here on SmashBoxx.TV. I'm your host, Terry Miller, Disc Golf Guy. We look forward to you next time when you step inside the Smashbox.